The third movie of the 28 franchise? I have no idea. It wasn't very clear. But 28 years later is out now, and the film was my most hyped film of the year for me. So let's see if it can hold up to the original 28 Days Later. I'm just going to say this from the start. I loved the first 28 Days Later movie, and I actually really enjoyed 28 Weeks Later. Yes, it had some flaws, and it wasn't perfect, and it didn't really get that many great reviews, but I really enjoyed it. I think Danny Boyle and Alex Garland are a great team, and they created an amazing universe together. And even though Alex Garland didn't come back for 28 Weeks Later, Boyle stuck around and produced it. So there were still some original guys on the second film. So it kind of frustrated me that in 28 Years Later, it didn't acknowledge that movie or really answer any of the questions that movie left or answer any of the questions they created by making this movie. It just felt like they did everything they could to avoid it, which raised more questions than it answered. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people don't really care or don't even want to acknowledge 28 Weeks Later. Okay, now that I've said that, let's get into the plot. The plot of this movie follows this family who are played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and Alfie Williams. Alfie Williams is the young boy we see throughout the trailer, and he's the lead of this film, which I thought Aaron Taylor Johnson was going to be, and Edwin Rendling, I hope I'm saying that right. He was the military guy that we see throughout the trailer. I thought he was going to have more of a side quest and be the second main actor of the film, but not really. It was all Alfie Williamson. So there are 2.5 plots in this film. The first one is Aaron Taylor Johnson and Alfie Williamson. They're together. The second one is Alfie Williamson and Jodie Comer. And the third one, I don't really want to get into yet. I don't really want to talk about what they're doing, what leads to them doing this stuff, because it's kind of big spoilers, and it's kind of 2.5 films in one. So if I talk about another one, I'm spoiling the first one. So it's not really off to a great start for this review. But I'm going to get into stuff that I really enjoyed. So was this movie, any good? Well, no, yes, no. It's complicated. Alfie Williamson is amazing, and he's definitely a right choice to be the lead in this film. The kid has crazy potential, and he carried the film. I wasn't expecting him to be the lead, but he did an amazing job. It's not like the rest of the cast were bad. The rest of the cast were amazing. The acting was beautiful. The film was beautifully shot and filmed. The music was great. The sound was great throughout the whole film. The poem was in the movie too, which at first it started off kind of weird and out of place, but then the more it went, I was like, okay, yeah, I get this. This is something unique. That was kind of the common theme for me with this movie, was at first I'm like, oh, I don't really like this art decision, but I'm like, oh, but then after a while I'm like, okay, actually I do like it. The effects were scary and added some new stuff to their lore. I think it's kind of obvious through the trailer they've evolved, but they weren't as scary as the first two movies, especially the first movie. It just kind of felt like they're an afterthought, besides for one infected member. I thought this film did a good job of building more to this universe, and it definitely left in a good spot for a sequel, which is interesting because I didn't know going to this movie this was going to be a sequel, but apparently there's going to be a trilogy. It's kind of funny that Alex Garland didn't write the second film because he felt like it was just going to be a cash grab, but now he's writing the whole trilogy, which is kind of interesting. Money talks, I guess. Okay, now let's get into stuff that I didn't really like. One thing that I just really do not like, and I'm just going to say out right from the start, is the 28 franchise are known to have some of the best starts in movies ever. The second one, 28 Weeks Later, has arguably the best start in a horror film of all time. Say what you want about it. You can hate it, think the plot's stupid, the characters aren't interesting, the acting isn't there. Say what you want. But the start of that movie is amazing. That's just a fact. You cannot disagree with that. I'm sorry. The first one has an amazing start that builds a lot of suspense, and you're like, holy crap, what is this theme? It's not zombies. What's going on? And it's just so good. This one, 28 years later, has a horrible start, in my opinion. Horrible. It was rushed. It didn't have that X factor the other two had. I feel like they could have spent more time with it, maybe do some build-up, maybe explore what's going on with the rest of Great Britain, because at the start, they're in the middle of nowhere in the Highlands. The Highlands are hard to get to. This infection, I'm assuming, started in London or Manchester, so a big populated area. And now all of a sudden they're under attack. There's no buildup. There's no buildup with the kids. There's no buildup with the rest of the family. Boom, they're under attack. And it just doesn't sit right with me. But that's, whatever. That's one thing, right? Okay, not really. The film does answer some questions about the infection, like how they've survived, which was really good, and they kind of answered that pretty quickly. Obviously not by telling you, by showing you, which I appreciate from this film. It does a lot of showing, not telling. One of my biggest pet peeves for movies. It also says that Ireland was infected, which in the first two movies, it kind of seemed like it was just Britain, like the main isle, Britain, Wales, England, Scotland. But I guess I'm wrong there. The quarantine wasn't really explained, and it just kind of showed that both islands were infected and they're patrolled. They don't really know what's going on. But what I picked up from the quarantine from them is that it kind of just seemed dumb and not explained well or explored, and it just kind of feel like, there could have been some logic behind some stuff. Maybe we'll find that out in the other two movies, but right now it just seems dumb. The 2.5 plots in this one movie just don't work well. Like, fitting 2.5 plots in any movie or 2 plots in one movie is just not a good idea. Even though I love the original 28 movies, I'm not the biggest fan of Doyle's close-ups and quick cuts. Like, I want to see what's happening and not feel like closed in and not know what's going on. In the original 28 movies, that kind of grew on me, and that's what the 28 movies are known for. So I've kind of learned to accept it and like it. Even though he doesn't do a lot of close-up and quick cuts throughout this film, it does happen, and when it does happen, it's a little too much, and I just don't like it. Like, at first, I'm like, I don't like it. And then it went to, okay, now I can get behind it. Like, the rest of the things that are going on with this movie. But then after a certain while again, I'm like, okay, stop. Like, I don't stop, please. It's so annoying. There was a lot of hidden messages throughout the movie, especially with family dynamics. I like that. It's not just an infection movie or zombie movie. They said zombie in this movie, which, I thought that was stupid. But it just was all over the place. Like, it wasn't really explored well. And I felt like it could have just spent more time with it, or just focus on one plot, like a movie's one plot. I mean, this movie had so much going for it. A lot of good things about this, but there's a lot of decisions I just did not enjoy, and it just wasn't there. Overall, this movie wasn't it. I do want to say again, the actors did an amazing job, and I could see Jodie Comer getting nominated for Best Supporting Actress or something like that. Like, this movie's going to win some kind of awards. This movie's definitely a critics movie, and it's going to win a lot of stupid awards. But I think it's going to divide a lot of moviegoers. 28 Years Later has a 92 in Rotten Tomatoes, and it's just not a 92% movie. Like, it's just not. Apparently, Nia DaCosta, I think I'm saying that right, is directing the second movie, or the fourth movie, or third, because I don't know if 28 Weeks Later is canon anymore. But she's going to direct it, and Boyle's going to produce it. And again, like I said earlier, Garland, has already written all 3 movies, and he's producing it, I think. So his job is done. But apparently they also filmed the second one already. Like, they filmed it back to back. I don't know about the third one. I haven't heard any news about the third one. But I'm just going to say this from the start. Nia DaCosta is horrible. It's not a right decision. We are so cooked as 28 Universe fangoers. It's just not a good choice. 28 Years Later didn't really get me or have that X factor I was looking for, but I was still looking forward to a sequel when it ended. Like, it left it at a good spot and build up this universe. But now that I know Nia freaking DaCosta is directing this, we're so cooked. She's known for The Marvels and Candyman. 2 awful films. There's just no, like, Candyman has good reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, but it's a terrible movie. Marvel's terrible reviews from critics and moviegoers alike. It's just not good. I just really hope I'm wrong about her, and I will happily take the L if this coming up movie is really good and she did an amazing job. Like, I'll give her all the credit in the world. I'll make a video apologizing to her, but it's just not going to be, because she's just not good. She doesn't have the X factor. She doesn't know this universe. I feel like it should have just been Doyle. I really wanted to give this movie a 9. Like, I was walking in this movie theater doing everything I can to give this a 9. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it a 6.8 out of 10. The trailer sold me. It sold me a lie. And unfortunately, the film is nothing like the trailer. So it just has to be a 6.8 out of 10. I'm really disappointed by this film. So, what do you guys think of 28 Years Later? Was my rating fair? Comment below your thoughts. Thanks again for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like. Goodbye, y'all.